Hello, this is Liz with Crafty Devotion, and I have several more doilies and lots of plans for you. I don't know how far I will get with the first tutorial, but I did say that I wanted to start using small doilies, and so we are going to go over, first I'll show you one flower, and then we'll go over a couple of small doilies and maybe make a few flowers with those. And I've had this one on my list for a while. And you may have seen this type of a doily before. Let's see. Look how large that is. And here's another example of one. And this one I actually had, it had a layer here, and then it had this one also. And I actually like the colors on this one a lot, because it has lavender and it has pink and then blue. Those are great colors. And it has even this hot pink, which is still comes out beautiful. And then it has this gold, and the gold, if you look at this one compared to that one, it's a little bit not as bright, and I like that. So one of the things that, if you don't use a lot of golds or yellow, really, it's a yellow gold. And one of the things I do with the gold is I actually dark tea dye it. And the reason I dark tea dye it is because it gives it a beautiful color. Look at this one compared to this one. I don't know for sure if this was the exact same color, but I remember it being a very bright yellow that was unusable to me. And then when I tea dyed it, how it changed colors. So a lot of times in your dyeing process, so imagine this one right here, all the white would turn tea dyed colored, right? And so the light colors here would probably get dark, and so it would tone it down. This one is single color, but this one would get toned down. It wouldn't be as bright, so it might get closer to this one. And on the color scheme, I don't know if you could see the differences in that. They're very close, but this one's a bit brighter. It has a little more yellow in it, and the yellow could become more of a, gold color. So that's my tip on that. And I'm not going to go into tea dyeing right now, but I did want to mention that to you because it is something that I have done when I started doing this. I really, really enjoy this, and I use this for a lot of things, this style. But here you go. You have this crazy shaped doily piece. I cut one out, I think. No, I don't. So we'll cut this one out together. Get my scissors. Okay. Here are my scissors. So let's take the dark pink one. Just like you cut other things, just cut them. And most cottons, like I said, most cotton does not fray. So you shouldn't have a problem cutting it up. And there you go. So then you have a little piece like this. And this is what I do with this type of a piece. I actually would leave that green in. I think it looks nice. Is I take this part here and I twirl it like this, like if it's going to be the center of a flower. I've taught you to do that a lot, right? So now you have this part hanging down and that part up, right? Then I take this part here and I flip it up on top of it. And then I take and connect those two. Look how cute that is. Isn't that adorable? So there's a flower right there at the three petals here, and then it's all rolled up inside. Okay, so I'll do that again for you. And see if the glue gun feels hot, so I'll actually finish it up for you. So how tight you roll this is up to you, but realize that if you leave it too loose, I'm just kind of going like this with my fingers. If you leave it too loose, then it might be difficult. I'm just rolling it. I'm trying to do it so you can actually see. I'm following, just like I've taught you, the edge. And then look how it looks here. This is really close together, but it has a hole there. And I flip it over. Okay. And then I'm just going to take these two petals this way and glue them together. Here. So just adjust it the way you want it to look. And so you really just need little glue attaching that there, and maybe some glue attaching these together. And make sure you attach them low, not too high. Because if you attach them too high, then you'll lose the shape of your flower. So there you go. And then these can be manipulated. Now that was done with it dry, coming straight out of the wash, and it has some firmness to it, so it's not a real floppy type of a doily. It has a little bit of firmness, but it is all cotton, and look how cute. It's just a little flower. Looks like you went through a lot of work. So you're creating this yourself. You can decide if you want to take off those green pieces. There you go. Now the other thing you can do is you can use the parts like this green part if you want, and add a little bit of, you know, stem. These are all, you know, you just use your imagination when you're doing this. So that would look cute. If I would just cut off that green and just attach it to the back, it would give it some green color, and this is a beautiful avocado green color. Okay, so that's that one, and you have, look how many colors you have. So a lot of doilies which you thought you could not use, you can definitely use. And this right here on the bottom, so this could be, I'm going to move these out of the way so you can see better. So this portion here can become a dangle lace. You can leave the green on or take it off, up to you. This part on this is a giant doily. This is not even the size it was when I first got it. And then these can all be used as flowers. Now then, right here in the center, you have another one, but it's smaller, that looks like this piece. I have this giant one. This one, the flower is a bit different. I'm going to hold them up so you can see them. It only has purple and yellow. So here's both purples. And you can see this one has a flat here, and then it has 3 petals. This one, it actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, well actually it only has 1, 2, 3, 4 petals it looks like. And we'll see when I take it off. And these ones look shorter than these. These ones on this side have a white around them, and this one doesn't. So what I did is I removed that already, and here's one. Okay, and then I have one that I left like that, and then I have one that I actually took and I removed the white all the way around it, and this is what it looks like. So it actually has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 there, but when this portion, these two are attached to the edge of the lace like that, and then these ones are actually just a border of white around them. So if you want to take the time to remove the edges like I've taught you, you can do that. It did take a little bit of a while to do that one little thing, but you can do the same things with this, but you can also use this in a layered flower. You can use it as the flower center. It all depends on if you're making something like you would want it like this if you're making something that's not so tattered and you want it to be, but if you could use it like this, if you want it to be something that is tattered, you can leave this there or you can take it off. Now, when I start making flowers with things, I actually experiment all the time. And so what I'm thinking is that this portion here could possibly be the inside, and maybe these will be the petals, which would leave you with three petals like the other one and 2 that are rolled up. So let's practice. Let's see. I don't think I've done this one yet, so I'm going to practice it and see what happens. And you can see that already, so you could cut it off and make a small little flower if you cut that off, okay? And then I'm going to flip this one up like I did the other one. You can see how it's lying. Look how it just right away looks like a flower. Can you see that? It just looks just like a flower. Look at that. And I will, someone was commenting that they'd like to see some, look how beautiful that looks. It looks like a buttercup. Just gorgeous. Basically, not much you're doing. You're taking something that you would have otherwise tossed away. So now I'm going to try experiment one more time. And I'm going to just put this one that's all raggedy in the center and roll it tight. Let's see what happens. Then I'm going to try and give myself more petals than I had. See if it works. I don't know. Just going to tilt it up. You could make it look bigger, but I like the other way. I liked the first one where you took the two, rolled them up. So let me roll it up. So this one, you could use it a lot if you would tea dye it and maybe change the color, or maybe it's a color you want. Just attaching that there. Then this, lay it so you could see it. Looks like a mess. Tilt this one inside out. Okay. Isn't that cute? So here you can leave it, tighten it by putting a little bit of glue like on each end there, or you can just leave it loose and use it like this, lying down. Or you can put it on, you can actually put it on a wire if you want, so that you can actually have it up. You can add green on it if you wish. But I did want to show you those because they're also another one that I've used a lot. Now let's try it with the one that's actually all stretched out, and all I did was I did that fabric release on it. So let's see, we want 3, so it looks like these 2 are smaller. So let's see, I'm just rolling this. See what happens. Oh, that looks like a little bud. Can you see it? Keep rolling it around. It's a little harder to roll because it's bigger. But sometimes the imperfections make things look much more beautiful when you put them together. I might have put that too close there, but there you go. And it didn't come out very good. So I actually preferred, it does look cute though. Wait a minute. I'm wrong. It looks cute. There's you can't really mess it up. You know, you really just, and I don't think I learned this from anyone. I just did it myself. I know people make a lot of flowers with doilies. The layering technique, which is one of the techniques I will be showing you. But these techniques, I just came up with them myself. Actually, that does look gorgeous. So this one with it taken off, this one with it left on. The next thing I'm going to do is teach you how to make this flower here. I just did the tutorial on this, and I skipped recording how I made this flower, so I said I would show it in the doily tutorial. So that's what I'm going to do, is show you how I made this flower. And this is made from little scraps, really, of different doilies. Let me show you. So I have one of these because that was on there first, and then I have, I just had that here. It's not this one. Oh well. I don't need the exact same one because you can use any doily. So these are actually the little scraggly spiders that came, I'll show it to you. Well, this is how it was put together, with these little scraggly things in the middle. And I kept all these straggly things, and I'm use them for different things. And I'm going to start with this because I don't need to have that right now. I'm going to make this my base. You could make piece of felt you base. You can make and since I know I have a lot of these doilies, I'm going to make this doily my base. And all I did was I took these little small doilies and I folded it in half, and then I folded it and left about a little bit on this side here, on one of the sides. You can choose which side. So I folded it, like I left about a quarter of it. It doesn't have to be exact. So I folded it again. You can put a little glue there, fold it in half, and you can do all of these and do them all the same. And like I said, it doesn't have to be exact. I'll explain to you why I'm doing this in a moment. Okay. All right. So, and what I took is that this doily right here, I took the doily and I used it. I didn't go all the way to the center, but I went to the edge because I wanted there to be room there. I wanted the flower to be bigger than just these two together. I wanted it to be bigger. So I'm going to use this doily as a guide. And I'm going to place one right here, and I'm going to remember to keep on doing that. And all you do is put a little bit of glue. Okay. Now this, making doilies this way, the folded doilies, they can actually be a variety of ways that you make them. You don't have to stick to one way. You can fold them different ways. And I'll explain that to you a little bit again. And I wanted this doily flower, to actually, I'm gotta go this way. I wanted this doily flower to be a full flower. So, but I didn't want to put like several layers. This flower ended up being one layer. So what I do, the reason I fold it there is then I can put this one on top, and it all looks like it's all connected. It doesn't look like, you know, they're separate from each other. So you can make a bunch of them just folded in quarters and do it. But in my experiments, this is the way I liked doing it. And I may make more this way, but I overlap it on top of that one. And I'm actually also keeping this away from the center. Don't touch that middle center, because I'm leaving a little bit in the middle. Okay. So I just do as many as I need, really. No set amount. So when you layer on top, you're just layering on top of that piece, this piece right here that's left on the side. You're layering right there. So when you're doing these, look more on the outside here than you do in the center. So you want the outsides to be kind of even, not exactly. Remember, this is like a tattered flower, so it doesn't have to be exact. It's just a guide for you. So at this point, I'm going to decide if I want to put one more in, and I decided yes, I think it needs one more. I'm putting one more in. So I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little teeny doilies. They're really small. And like I said, there's my scraps. I use these as flower centers, as well as just a little bit of maybe a textile to add in a certain place. And I'm going to just add it in there. There we go. So that's it. And then I left that center. I did that on purpose. I want to have that center because I use that center of the flower, and I'll show you how I use it. See, this gets all fluffied up. See it along here? You can glue it more later on if you feel like it needs it. Like everything, I always just do it loosely just in case I make a mistake or whatever. Then I took, this is from one of these kind. These are attached together with one of these here. These ones are tea dyed or dyed, and so is this one. This is avocado dyed, and this is using one of the synthetic laces. Okay, I'm going to put that there. Okay. Now, I want you to look. It gives it place for this little teeny doily to add so much to the flower by basically it sunk in there and then made all these little petals stand up. See? So it gives it. Okay. Then I decided I was going to use this one. I think the one I used over here, I guess I could have looked for one, is actually tea-dyed. I might have more of those, but this one's not tea-dyed, but I'm going to use it in the same way. A little small doily with green. And that's going to go in there also. Just going to put a little bit of glue along here. And you need to use something to help you stick it in because you don't want to burn your fingers. Stick that in also. Small little bling that I have. You can use whatever blings you have. And I stuck this little bling in the center. Ah! I made a mess. How about that? See? I make mistakes. So now your little flower has dimension. Okay, and I used scraps. Now, you can use other scraps also. You don't have to use this. We can place it on top of here if you like that. Okay, so that is how I made this cute little flower. Like I said, the only difference is that that one was actually, I don't know if it was avocado dyed or synthetic dyed, but look how cute it is to give it dimension. This one was smaller because I used a smaller doily, so